Okay, hello. As introduction, it's the first time I make this presentation in English, so I hope it will be comprehensive for you. So, as introduced, I will present you 50 years, 15, sorry, of research that works. This is my personal experience, okay? So I begin by a brief introductions, a brief situation of me, and as introductions, I will tell you a short story, and will present you a simple maturity model which I imaginate, and I will detail this maturity model. So, as it was said, I'm a Linux administrator. I'm technical officer of ID management at IRSTER. Now I am a technical officer of web access management at INRAE. I was responsible of the Linux user group in Lyon during 6 years, and I opened my eyes since Debian 2.2. So my employer, it's very important because my employer is a French public research institute specialized in ecology and agriculture, and during 15 years, we changed name two times, and we have merged with another institute, which was bigger. And as indicator, our number of user account increased a lot from 1,200 to 15,000. So the little story. This story, because it's on this story that I imaginate the maturity model. So it's indeed a classical problem. We have to find a solution for managing user accounts and web access management. And as usual, we have to make it functional, scalable, and adapt inside a research and educational context, which is a special context. The dilemma, as usual, choose a solution and adapt all internal processes to it. It was at the beginning it was a simple mail, simple Excel sheet, so it was not very very automated. Or adapt or get a solution and adapt it to our process. So, spoiler, we choose twice, we adapt our process because it was too hard, and we adapt the solution to our need. In this last point, we choose open source because it was open, and we could get it, modify it, and could make some modification and put it to, give it to another one. We choose two products. The first one for the account management. We choose a product called FusionDirectory. We begin with the previous version, which was called Goza 2. Actually, this software is core maintained by the FusionDirectory publisher. And the other one for the access web access management called LemonLDAP core maintained by the Vortex publisher. So during 15 years, we have taken these two solutions and adapted it to our needs. So I will present you a very simple mature model. This is my own point of view, and I will describe what was my attitude in front of these two software, FusionDirectory and LemonLDAP during this system building. You see Sympa and Apache, which are two famous software, just to illustrate what I could do during these years. So, as attitude, I was a user of FusionDirectory, LemonLDAP. I was a bug reporter. I was a co-forker because with the company FusionDirectory, we take Goza 2 and fork it in order to create FusionDirectory. Because there was a conflict between the initial publisher. And as a founder, sometimes you have to put money on the table in order to have more functionalities. I'm currently a poor code writer. I made some code which works, but I'm an IT manager, not a developer. And the last one, which is the more important for me, as influencer. I will talk about this state after. This maturity model you see based on the other testimonials. With the French National Gendarmerie about migration to open source tools and the birth of the LemonLDAP NG and the changement and the governance changement of Sympa software. So Sympa is a simple mailing list manager which have been written by Renater, which is an operator of education networks, and now it's a community software now. So this maturity model have 7 elements, 4 levels of contributor, and 3 transitions. The 4 level. So I took the previous state and I make some package on 4 level. The first one, the user. Okay, we took the software, install it, and we use it. The second one is operational contributor. Operational is very important because we can report bug, write some codes and documentation. We can produce concrete elements for the project. Level 3 is a project contributor. We could write core code, or we could be a co-forker that I done with a FusionDirectory company, and it could be a co-architect. Co-architect, what I define behind co-architect is that the publisher could not know every infrastructure, so as client I could talk to him. Okay, in research education networks, this is all directory are built like this. All mail system are built like this. So we can give him some information in order to improve the software. And the last level, this is a project influencer. This is a co-governor. It's this project influencer is a person who can decide the main line of the software. The 3 transitions, of course, 4 levels. So the 3 transitions. First one, user to operational contributors to project contributor to project influencer. For each transition, I will detail what are the success key for each person, publisher and project user. A simple point of attentions, and I will illustrate those success key and point of attentions. So the first one, user and operational contributor. The first one, the documentation should be present and clear. It is for user very important. Okay, this is software. Okay, screenshot as very clear. It's cool. Okay, but now I want to install it. If it's not clear, it could be a pain to do this. Another one is the bug report method should be clear. Sometimes you could have a bug report method which have to fill a lot of field. Okay, which system, which application, which version, which commit. Sometimes it's very complicated, and user don't do the bug report because it's too complicated. And the last one, each user should be welcome as a value, a very important user. Every feedback is important. I think is very important for the project. A point of attention. Sometimes too much documentation create noise. Okay, you go on the famous Read the Doc website and you see, okay, I want all the doc, and the documentation make 300 pages. Okay, it's maybe too long. What are the simple, the correct level of precision of documentation? Another one is user need time to understand project organization. Okay, I am a user, I want to contribute to a project. Okay, but behind how many persons there is behind the project? 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know. What are the tools? It's necessary for the project to illustrate, okay, behind the software there's a simple community composed of company and user, and some tools. The tools we use is a GitLab. Sometimes could be clear. As illustration about documentation, we use the FusionDirectory at LemonLDAP NG, and by definition, those projects is very complicated because it's complex, not very complex. Yes, it's the best word. That's require good knowledge. For example, for FusionDirectory and LemonLDAP, we have to know what is LDAP tree. We have to know what is LDAP tree, what is protocol, LDAP protocol, and so on. So the documentation could not explain the basic concept. Otherwise, we have a documentation. We have a documentation. We have too much documentation, and it makes noise. And indeed, these two software could be installed from a different way, and so the bugs can be difficult to describe for the user. Transition 2, success keys on contributor is listened because they bring expertise. Because we have not to be a project contributor, we have already installed the software, and we know the software, so we could say to the publisher, okay, you have to do this like this because it's very important. So it's contribute to the project interest. Contributors mention their answers for the project, not only for their own needs. Okay, sometimes one time I make a pull request to FusionDirectory. This pull request was refused because, okay, it's only for your needs, it's not for your project. So I have to reject it. Okay, it was difficult to listen this, but it was very, very interesting. Point of attention, take care about conflict between contributor, project, and publisher, because sometimes they have different goals. Each evaluation must be a benefit for everyone. I say about my pull request, which was refused. And the last one, the technical storms. I call it technical storms because after the simple bug report, which is a simple form to fill, now if you want to develop, you have to configure, you have to play, of course, with a Git, Docker, GitLab, CI/CD, and other tools. And sometimes where we are not a DevOps, where we have not a DevOps provider, it could be very complicated. So as illustrations, with my expertise, with my expertise and my needs, ISTA impact, my previous employer, my ISTA impacts the target of FusionDirectory, because now FusionDirectory is specialized in identity management in educational networks in France, because we have asked to FusionDirectory to develop some plugin for Supan, which is a specific method, Synapse in order to interconnect with other user source and other system. And LemonLDAP NG, we asked them to improve the metadata loading for national and international XML federation. Those developments help the project to be more well-known and to be more used. The last one, it was more difficult, I think, is in order to be a project influencer, we have to create a community, not only a simple user group where they meet together and request. No, create a community in order to define the different goals of the project. It's important to see, to remind to the publisher the need to be more accessible and to more open by create tools to contribute and help him to let the community more visible. Point of attention, diplomacy between this committee and the publisher take times, because of course we have to find a compromise between the interests of the community and the need of the publisher. Publisher have to work and to earn money in order to be alive, and community want to make this software very very interesting. As an expression for FusionDirectory, whoa, it's times. We improve the consumer FusionDirectory by creating a plugin manager, create soon a community website, and reminds everyone I see the publisher how to take care about the other possibilities of the software, because FusionDirectory do not only user accounting. As a conclusions, with speed it. My maturity model is very simple. I will see a simple tab with a different level. So FusionDirectory, I am level 4. LemonLDAP NG, I am level 2.5. That's a simple direction, and Sample 2 and Apache 1. It takes time in order to be from level 1 to level 4. It takes a lot of time, and it's dependent of the need of and dedication of the user, of myself, indeed. There is another maturity model. I see recently that all the way to other maturity model. There's of course a lot of method, But on this method, I see that relation between community and publisher, I think, is very underestimated. For example, on the AW2 model, there is 40 points of maturity of the software, and there is only a 1 about community. I think it's important to take care about it. As illustrations, I have just 2 questions. What was the future of LemonLDAP if the National Library wasn't involved in it? What was the future of FusionDirectory if if it didn't take care about our needs for identity management in a French educational and research environment?